mission supporting for all the countries across the world.
He served also as a governor for Riyadh for over 5 decades, I believe.
Exactly, till now, till before also the King Abdullah died, he was prince for governor of Riyadh. He has a good experiences, he is very willing, he is one of the continuous supporting and believing that the standardization and cooperation between European countries is mandatory, and the full of support. Even Egypt is the leading and the power to support all European countries.
Yes. Dr. Ayubi, thank you so much for your insight. Again, Ayubi, political commentator, thank you so much for joining us on The Breakfast Show. We resume our last news item in this segment of the press review, and it's from I believe it's from it's from Yummy, and it's about the Egyptian stock. The market has gained 1.5 billion pounds on Thursday, trading pushed by the purchasing operations by Arab and foreign investors, while Egyptian investors tendered to selling. The stock indices mixed on the weekend trading session as the main EGX 30 index went up by 0.43%, and the EGX 20 index rose by 0.44%. Positive indicators by the Egyptian stock.
Very positive indication, as you said, and this is the political stability that I told you at the beginning, that will affect the stock market and encourage more and more achievements more than that. So it's a great achievement.
Yes.
And hopefully still on that road.
Yes, but I believe that inexplicably the stock market is fluctuating, regardless of also the political situation.
Yes, the stock market since the 25th of the revolution of January revolution was affected negatively, and there was great losses and a great number of stockholders.
Closure, I believe, of the stock market for several months.
Yes, and it was a disaster in the Egyptian economy. So to achieve that number, it's a great step that will encourage more and more investors and stockholders to have more and to sell by good numbers also too. So it's a very important step. At the end, I would like also to comment about the 7 days that were off because of the King of Saudi Arabia. As Dr. Gamal said, it's a historical relation, and all of us. And I would like to talk about one thing, which is that Saudi Arabia also prevent Muslim brotherhoods to
destroy the country.
Yes, and it helped us a lot to face them here in Egypt and to face them in other Arab countries. So Saudi Arabia is the role model of the Islamic people, and also all the Kaaba there. So it's a clear message to Muslim brotherhoods that we respect, and also to foreign countries, that this is a great loss for Egyptians and for all Arab countries, and even if other worlds or the other countries should also claim and share us that great loss, because we took a good step by 7 days off, as it's our last too.
Yes. We have a report about the performance of the Egyptian stock market, so let's take a look and we'll be right back.
Egypt's market main index commenced Thursday's session on a strong positive note, recording its 52-week high at 9,975.88 points. The EGX 30 closed up 0.43%, with a total turnover of £835 million, while the broader EGX 70 index and the EGX 100 index closed down 0.23% and 0.52% respectively. The Arab and foreign institutions were net buyers, recording net flows of £23.54 million and £10.31 million respectively, compared to local institutions that were net sellers at £1.87 million. Meanwhile, Arab retail investors closed as net buyers, recording a net flow of £23.22 million, while local retail investors ended the session as net sellers, recording a net flow of £59.42 million. AGX market capital gained £1.04 billion to hit £521.46 billion. Head of the technical analysis desk at Cairo Capital Securities said that the Egyptian exchange is likely to ride an upward move as the benchmark index EGX 30 managed to move towards the resistance level of 9,800 points. He attributed the rise to the aggressive buying power that led the index during Wednesday's session to close violating the mentioned level, accompanied with a high volume.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. Now we're also joined on the phone by Ambassador Ahmed to shed light on the latest developments that took place in Saudi Arabia, the death of King Abdullah, and also the announcement of King Salman as his successor. First of all, good morning to you, Ambassador.
Good morning.
Ambassador, if you can tell us more about the Egyptian-Saudi relations and your expectations to what's going to be in stock for King Salman as he is going to be officially announced as the King of Saudi Arabia.
The late king was a very modest personality. He never showed he is the king of Saudi Arabia, who is the poor as well as rich equally. But concerning Egypt and Saudi Arabia, they together by close relations in the establishment of the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and even before, the relations between the Egyptian people and the Arabian Peninsula was very strong because of the bond of Islam, and also because of the human traditions which characterize the Egyptian Saudi people. And I think the Egyptians will feel very strongly touched by this character because everybody is.
Yes, Ambassador, also if you can recall with me, since the June 30th revolution, the Saudi king and Saudi Arabia has been standing in solidarity with the Egyptian government, and also if you can remember the historic letter that has been that was read out by the Saudi media from the Saudi king after the June 30th, which has said straight out that Saudi Arabia is standing in solidarity with Egypt in its combat, in its fight against terrorism, and also there was a very brief but historic meeting with between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and King Abdullah as he was coming back from Morocco on his way back home, and he met with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the plane as his health was extremely deteriorating. If you can tell us more about that.
Yes, I think the first message which President Sisi received was from King Abdullah, and he expressed than any other leader in the world, by the way. And this was taken by the Egyptian people with gratitude and with emotion at the same time, because he was the first leader to express his sentiments and say that Saudi Arabia is standing with the Egyptian people at this moment, and promises that the relations will be cemented further. And also he came from Morocco and stepped over in Cairo. He made a point in stepping over in Cairo airport, where he met his plane with President Sisi. I think this is a very emotional scene for the Egyptian and Saudi people and the entire world at the same time. So I think the relations will will continue very strong during the reign of the successor, King Salman. He is also, all the Saudi rulers are premised by modesty and not boasting about what we are doing in assisting other countries. I still remember I served in Africa. Saudi Arabia was one of the few countries which gave generous assistance to the people of Africa.
Yes, Ambassador Ahmed Hagag, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for your insight and thank you so much for joining us on The Breakfast Show. And I'm afraid that's it, but we really do appreciate your presence and your insights on The Breakfast Show. By this we'll wrap up the press review. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming.
And the final comments, if you have any.
Weight loss, and we are, all of us as Egyptians, we are sad for that loss, and inshallah the coming with the new king will be better, and will have the same cooperation between Egypt and Saudi Arabia, especially its historical cooperation.
Yes, Walid Sharif, political commentator and assistant lecturer, thank you so much.
Thank you, Karim.
Dear viewers, by this we wrap up the press review in this edition